From Broad Street to Baylor, head coach Matt Rhule leaves the Temple Owls.
London on a college budget. This Temple Owl makes do in one of the most expensive cities in the world.
Finals week, Owls huddle in libraries to prepare for their upcoming exams.
We are truly honored to stand here with you and for me to stand here as the head coach at Baylor. I promise to take care of this program that belongs to so many of you, and I'm so grateful that you guys would entrust me with this tremendous team and tremendous group of young men. I want to thank Dr. Garland for his leadership.
After 4 seasons, Matt Rhule is out at Temple University. Hello, I'm Taggart Hauk.
And I'm Melissa Jerome. Just 3 days after winning the AAC championship, Matt Rhule has accepted an offer from Baylor University to become their head coach. We'll go right over to the sports desk where Vince Coll has the latest on Rhule's press conference at Baylor last night. Vince, what did Rhule have to say?
Thanks, Alyssa. In a shocking move for Temple football, Matt Rhule went from Broad Street's hero to the new head coach for Baylor University. Rhule arrived in Waco, Texas yesterday to greet the Baylor community and address the media. He took time to thank his Owls, but he knew it was time to move on.
They'll be my players forever. I love them. It was one of the hardest things I did yesterday to say goodbye. But I knew that our job was done there. Our time was over. Those kids went from 2-10 to 6-6 to the winningest 2-year stretch at Temple. I spent 10 years of my life there as an assistant and as the head coach. All of the leadership, all the people in the athletic department, the people on campus, the students, the fans, they were such a wonderful part of our lives. All the high school coaches in Philadelphia.
And although Rhule said leaving Temple was difficult, he couldn't pass up the opportunity to recruit and coach players in the Lone Star State.
I mean, if you're a college coach, you want to be around the best. And I wanted to come to a state, the great state of Texas, where high school football is better than anywhere else in the country. I wanted to come be around the best high school coaches in the country.
And while Rhule is settling into his new home in Baylor, the Temple program now has to adapt with a bowl game right around the corner. The sports desk's Bri Hofsass is live at the Liacouras Center. Bri, how is the program moving forward after this sudden turn of events?
Yeah, Vince, the team's going to be heading into their bowl game without Matt Rhule, but early Tuesday afternoon, AD Pat Kraft actually had a press conference here at the Liacouras Center to ensure the university that the team administration is doing everything in their power to be proactive heading into their last game of the season.
So I will tell our fan base, I'll tell our donors, I'll tell our administration, we're committed to continuing this momentum, and I'm excited for that. So I will say I had a quick conversation with Ed Foley. Ed will be our interim coach as we go to take on Wake Forest at the Military Bowl.
I mean, it was not even a hesitation about, wanting to do it or even thinking about whether I wanted to do it. The program needs somebody to step up and say, okay, here's where we're going tomorrow.
And then the concern of the guys and getting the guys that are here, their mind, in the right space.
Some of the kids are like, well, what's next is we got to figure out who the next head coach is going to be, or we got to win this bowl game. I said, no, what's next is breakfast tomorrow.
With several questions going into the bowl game for the football program, several players have turned to social media to voice their gratitude for Coach Matt Rhule.
With the process comes opportunities, and Coach Rhule definitely and deserves it, so I'm very happy for him.
He gave us a structure that, even though we started from a 2-10 team, we in 3 years' time won our AAC champion, so I think that structure is going to stay here for a while.
And Temple head men's basketball coach Fran Dunphy was also in attendance at the press conference, and his rule to players in the university is that it'll all be okay. Reporting live from the Liacouras Center for Temple Update, I'm Bri Hofsass.
Thanks, Bri. And Baylor University has recently made headlines in connection to their handling of sexual assault cases. An investigation ended with the termination of football coach and resignation of both the athletic director and university president. 2 former football players have since been convicted of sexual assault. However, the surprising departure of Coach Matt Rhule comes right after the program's biggest win. What you are seeing here is a true champion's welcome. Temple football returned home after winning the AAC title over Navy. The team was met by the Diamond Band and other Temple fans. We'll have highlights and more from the title game later from the sports desk, but back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Vince. When news of Matt Rhule's departure broke, people took to social media to express their frustrations. Our Kelly Antonacci has reaction from students here and at Baylor University. Kelly, what have the students been saying?
Taggart, students cursed Matt Rhule out on social media for a decision they call a career mistake. But after Rhule dedicated an entire page of the Inquirer to Temple, the initial shock passed and students began to actually understand.
But you know what, I'm honestly happy for him. The Big 12 is a huge opportunity. He's getting paid.
It's going to be sad because we don't know if the next coach coming in is going to be able to work with our players that well, but so I'm excited for him, but sad for our team.
I want to think that he's thinking of Temple like in the back of his mind every other place he goes, because this is the springboard that launched him into the national spotlight. I don't think he's a traitor. I would have done the exact same thing.
While students in Philadelphia were calming down, students at Baylor University had some mixed reactions. Our fellow student journalist at the Lariat spoke to some of those students about their reaction to the new hire. Some students were excited about the momentum Coach Rhule would actually bring to their team, while others had no idea who their coach was.
I know his name is like Matt Rhule.
I don't know much. I know that he came from Arkansas State. He had a rough start there, but he has been doing well. Won the AACC championships 2 years in a row. I think it'll be interesting.
He's obviously a really good coach, and I'm excited about the hire. I think it was awesome for Baylor.
Yeah, they all said they want a fresh start for their school. Here at Temple, the students also have high hopes for their football team. They hope and actually think that interim head coach Ed Foley will end the season on a high note. Reporting live from Leah Course Walk for Temple Update, I'm Kelly Antonacci. Taggart?
Thank you, Kelly. Matt Rhule isn't the only former Temple leader going through a transition. Former Temple President Neil Theobald has lost his bid to be the next president of the University of Northern Iowa. The job went instead to Mark Nook, the chancellor of Montana State University. Dr. Theobald was one of 3 finalists for the job. Last week, he told UNI students he left Temple because of a dispute over a dean search. Temple trustees had said Theobald's dismissal was over a $22 million budget shortfall. Dr. Theobald is still a member of Temple's faculty. And Philadelphia police are looking for a man who robbed a Temple student at gunpoint. This student, Nick Roche, was confronted by a man with a gun late Tuesday night. Roche attempted to reason with the man, but once the man pulled out a gun, Roche agreed to hand over his belongings.
Like once he pulled his gun, I was ready to do whatever it took to just get out of there alive.
Now, the incident occurred on the corner of 10th and Montgomery. Roche urged students to always walk with another person and take advantage of the services Temple Police provide.
Construction has been going on for months in different parts of Temple's campus, but one project was recently completed. Temple Update's Emily Morrison brought us a look at construction in October, but is back with an update on the newly renovated offices.
New academic advising offices for the College of Liberal Arts and the College of Science and Technology are open for business. The advising teams made the move in late November and have quickly adjusted to the new space. Advisors from both schools are happy with the new facilities and are excited by what this means for students.
I think it's great. It's more central, for the students. I think we can actually obviously see all the students here at the bell tower. It's great. It's nice and new and fresh.
While the office technology stayed the same, Hennifer says her favorite new feature is an adjustable desk. The new facility includes a shared conference and seminar room and has completely transformed the space from what it was before. Students are saying proximity to academic buildings are a benefit of the move.
I think it's more convenient, and if a student urgently needs something, I think it would be a good place for them to come here.
The advisors also said that this location is helping them feel more connected to campus than they were before.
And it's easier for us to sort of see what's going on campus, because oftentimes in the old space it wasn't, we wouldn't see what's going on with student activity and stuff like that.
With the new library set for completion in 2018, Paley will eventually become obsolete with its current function, so we can expect to see more projects like this in the next few years. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Emily Morrison.
Temple School of Media and Communication has welcomed Professor Aaron Pilhofer as the James B. Steele Chair in Journalism Innovation. As the chair, Pilhofer will teach classes about digital media at Temple, but will also have a role beyond the university. President Richard Engler and Dean Boardman both spoke at the event. Pilhofer says he is honored because Jim Steele is a hero of his.
My part of the sort of journalism world, I sort of come from the nerd wing of journalism, and in that realm, Jim is an absolute hero.
Pilhofer is a journalism professor and the former executive digital editor for the Guardian newspaper. The chair is funded in part by a $2 million grant from the Wincott Foundation.
All right, coming up on Temple Update, have you been hitting the books? Our Abdul Sesay will be in the newsroom with your final survival tips.
About studying abroad? Stay tuned to hear how some of our Temple Owls are budgeting their spending money while living in London.
I'm Nigel Hood. It's very cloudy and cold out right now, and it's going to be feeling a lot like a winter day today, but what about the rest of the week? I'll be back in the Weather Center with your 5-day forecast.
And Vince Coll will be back at the sports desk with more on Matt Rhule's departure. Don't go anywhere. Temple Update will be right back. Back on campus, we're cramming for finals. Our Abdul Sesay joins us now in the newsroom with some tips and tricks to help any of you struggling owls survive the long week. Abdul?
Thanks. In my own preparation for finals, I went around campus and spoke to a few professors about the best ways to prepare yourself. Now, their tips were guidelines they wish their own college selves would have followed. Time of the year again. That's right, finals are fast approaching. While there are students who are making the necessary preparations, some of us are at a loss.
Dude, I don't feel good about finals at all.
They suck. I have a lot of fake papers to write, and I'm not good at working.
Weary students have no fear. SMC Professor Larissa Mann has a few hints to ease your end of semester woes. When it comes to written exams, Professor Mann says this.
I try to practice writing answers a little bit just to get my brain going. So if I know something about what I think they might ask, I try to practice that, what would I answer in this case or what would I answer in that case.
Professor Mann also says if you're having trouble retaining information, that it's okay to take a break and come back to it later. She reminds us that it is important to be rested on the day of an exam. Professor Selsena Solomon also chimes in with some valuable tips.
Self-care, I think, is huge. I think we overlook that. Drinking water, yoga, whatever we need to do to get in that creative mind state that we can be critical thinkers.
Professor Solomon also stresses the importance of rest and proofreading your papers. So I'm personally taking Professor Solomon's advice to the T. I need my beauty sleep. I don't know if you guys can notice, but I'm starting to get bags under my eyes. But in all seriousness, good luck to all my owls as you take on finals week. That's it for me. In the newsroom, back to you guys.
Thanks, Abdul. It certainly is the most wonderful time of the year for Temple students. After 15 weeks, some all-nighters, and countless cups of coffee, the fall semester is finally coming to a close. The final day of classes is next Monday. Study days will be the 13th and 14th. Exams will run from the 15th through the 21st. And you lucky graduating seniors will receive your diplomas on Thursday, the 22nd.
And if you're due for a diploma with this graduating class, you can pick up your graduation tickets in the atrium until the end of the week. Seniors sign an exit survey giving them access to post-grad opportunities. With the tickets, they'll receive a senior class gift, their yearbook, and a letter from Dean Boardman. Ticket pickup ends Friday at 4:30 p.m.
Some students are wrapping up finals, and some are wrapping up their great but costly study abroad experiences. Our London correspondent Katelyn Evans reports on how Temple Owls are seeing the world on a college budget.
Regarded as the most expensive city in the world to live in, London offers art, culture, cuisine, and the challenge of making the most of each pound spent.
Just been really, like I said, aware of what I'm doing when I'm spending money.
Temple University student Stephen Bonell says with so many sites to explore, setting himself a budget each week and saving up before arriving were big components in preparing for London life.
It's pretty basic. I just withdraw like 200 to 300 pound increments. Always keep an idea of how much money is left in my account.
With all of these students studying abroad, they all have the talent of finding the best deals on a budget. Temple students living in the borough of Islington have cracked the code to balancing finances while living abroad.
Once I got into the swing of things, I kind of knew like grocery shopping would be about 20 pounds, and I can kind of make it last for every 2 weeks.
With the help of the SMC program and student loans, this semester's London Owls encourage other students to take advantage of the chance to live abroad.
So you're going to get student loans for this semester anyway, why not put it towards study abroad, and you get this experience with that.
You can have a good time on a tight budget. It's definitely not impossible to not go crazy spending and still have a good time over here.
You should take advantage of the opportunity, even if you're scared, even if you think that money will be an issue. There's always going to be a way to figure it out.
Reporting from London for Temple Update, I'm Katie Evans.
And it is that time again. Welcome to the Sports Desk. In 4 years, Matt Rhule took the Owls from a 2-10 team to AAC champions with back-to-back bowl games in the process. And as the search for a new coach begins, I took a look at the impact Rhule made on the program. Just over 72 hours after Temple football stole the American Conference Championship with a 34-10 victory over 19th-ranked Navy.
I think we can say that we're one of the top teams in college football right now, based upon the way we've played.
Head coach Matt Rhule accepted the same position at Baylor University.
I just said I wanted him to make the right decision for his family and for him. And I thanked him for all he did for this program.
Interim head coach Ed Foley will coach the Owls in the bowl game and has seen the program develop right before his eyes.
I mean, what Matt did, is basically take the program from 2-10 to a championship level program.
4 years ago, Rhule was a Temple football assistant and hired to replace Steve Adazio. The team mustered only 2 wins in 2013 and 6 the next year, but Rhule's team made the leap in 2015. The Owls won their first 7 games, hosted ESPN's College Game Day, and won the AAC East Division, all program firsts. In 2016, his mission was simple: bring a trophy back to North Broad Street. Last Saturday, he achieved that goal, the first Temple coach to win a major conference title, recording back-to-back 10-win seasons in the process. Despite his abrupt departure, Rhule has stamped his legacy on the program, creating a culture that will carry on.
I think, Matt was really critical in the development of those guys. Just to watch them grow in the 4 or 5 years that we've been here it's been absolutely incredible.
Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Vince Coll. And not to be forgotten, however, the team has a chance to win its first bowl game since 2011. Earlier this week, the Owls found out that they will be traveling to the same stadium they clinched the AAC championship in for the Military Bowl, and they will play ACC opponent Wake Forest on Tuesday, December 27th. Kickoff is set for 3:30, and students can get discounted tickets through owlstix.com, but the deadline for those is Wednesday, December 14th. On next week's show, we will have an inside look at the matchup. But the Owls will roll into the bowl game as 2016 AAC champions. Let's take a look back at the highlights from the game. The Owls came charging into Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium and they never looked back. Philip Walker lofts ones here to Ventel Bryan, who strolls right into the end zone, put the Owls up 14-0. The defense came to play, holding a dangerous Navy team to just over 3 yards per carry, and Raquel Armstead seals the game with this touchdown run, and the Owls are AAC champions. They dominate Navy 34-10, and they celebrate their ACC title on their field. And to transition, after a 5-game winning streak, George Washington brought Temple basketball back to earth last night. Freshman guard Alani Moore, he got the offense going early on, and the Owls were able to overcome a 15-point deficit behind Dan Diggle. He finished with 14 points, and he hits this three-pointer to tie the game. It was answered with that with the Colonials, and they leave with one more shot. The shot doesn't fall, and Temple falls to George Washington 66-63. And that's all we have from the sports desk. For more on the Owls head coach search and bowl game coverage, follow us on TU_sports desk. Alyssa and Taggart, back to you.
Tough game there, Vince. Temple Update alum and ESPN Sports Center host Kevin Nagandi got a surprise visit live on air yesterday. 3 Temple football players showed up with the championship trophy and some gear for the former Temple Owl. They talked about the big win and their upcoming bowl game. The players were optimistic about their future and were happy for Matt Rhule and his new job at Baylor.
Because it was a special moment. I mean, again, I talk about the program all the time. When I was there, they won 7 games in 4 years. 10 years ago, they almost canceled Temple football. The idea that you guys are going to the
Blackstone Launchpad, an entrepreneurial student org on campus, hosted a Find Your Wingman event on Tuesday. Chicken wings and pizza got them there, but students stayed to network with other innovative students in hopes of finding possible business partners. Current students who have successfully started their own companies were there to provide insight. And you know, Taggart, as someone who is always cold, I am not looking forward to these chilly temperatures I hear are coming.
It's true, I know. I'm ready for spring break right now. We're going to kick it over now to Nija Hood. She's live in our weather center. Nija, what can you tell us about this weather?
That's right, winter is here, and this week there is no denying that. Starting today, it's going to be 41 degrees and partly cloudy. And let me tell you what it's going to be looking like throughout the day later today. So right now at 10 a.m., it's 41 degrees, partly cloudy, and then by 3 p.m., it's going to go up to about 45 degrees, staying at partly cloudy, and later on tonight by 10 p.m., it's going to be clear skies, but still pretty cold, nearly freezing. It's going to be 35 degrees. So now Sally the sorority girl is all ready for the cold weather. She's bundled up. She's wearing a scarf, a jacket, some boots. Make sure you're following suit and that you're keeping layers on. You're ready for the cold. It's going to be very cold all week. So starting today, it's going to be 46 degrees. So it's cloudy right now, but it's going to be sunny a little later on. Then Friday, it's going to be mostly sunny, 41 degrees. Saturday, also mostly sunny. We're looking at weather in the 40-degree range all throughout the week. It's going to be continuing to be 40 degrees on Sunday. And then by Monday, the start of finals week, we're going to be seeing some showers, and it's going to be 51 degrees. So as always, make sure you are keeping up to date with us and our weather forecast at TU Weather Watch. That's all I have right here. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Nija. And of course, with that cold weather, 'tis the season to give back. And in light of that, SMC is hosting a toy drive. Students can drop off unwrapped toys in boxes on the 3rd floor of Annenberg Hall and the Strategic Communications Suite in Weiss Hall. The toys will be donated to Shriners Hospital for Children. Donations will end December 14th.
That's all for Temple Update. For the latest news, log on to our website, templeupdate.com. Also, be sure to follow us and like us on all social media, including our newly launched Snapchat.
That's right, and as always, you can tune into TUTV or watch live on templetv.net. For Alyssa Jerome and the rest of the Temple Update team, I'm Taggart Houck. Have a great day.